At some point, most people have a moment where they'll look at their week and think, is this it? Wake up, commute, work, come home tired, do it again. And somewhere between paying bills and planning for a vacation you're too exhausted to enjoy, you wonder how you ended up here. That feeling has a name. Most people call it the rat race. And the frustrating thing isn't just that it's hard, it's that nobody signed up for it. It just kind of happened. Gradually, then completely. So let's talk about what it actually is, why it's so hard to get out of, and what escaping it actually looks like in real life. The rat race isn't about how much you work. You can work incredibly hard and not be in it, and you can coast through a comfortable job and be completely trapped. It's really about one thing: trading your time for money in a way that never quite gets you ahead. You earn and you spend. You need to earn more. The lifestyle expands to meet the income. And before long, you need the job, not because you love it, but because you've built a life that requires that paycheck to function. That's the trap, not the work itself, the dependency. Here's the honest part: escaping the rat race is genuinely difficult, and anyone who tells you otherwise is trying to sell you something. The system is set up in a way that makes leaving feel irresponsible. Take on debt young, build expenses that match your salary, and suddenly, the safe looking path becomes the only path you feel you can take. Every raise gets absorbed, every promotion comes with more pressure, and the exits aren't clearly marked. There's also a social component nobody talks about. A lot of our identity gets wrapped up in what we do and what we can afford. Choosing a smaller life, even voluntarily, can feel like failure from the outside. That pressure is real, and it keeps a lot of people stuck longer than the finances alone would. This is where I want to be careful, because escaping the rat race has been turned into a fantasy. Passive income, laptops on beaches, financial freedom by 30. For most people, that's not the exit, and chasing that version of it can actually make things worse. The real escape is quieter. It's about creating enough margin in your life that work becomes a choice rather than a requirement. That starts with the gap between what you earn and what you spend. Not in a punishing way, but with intention. What in your life actually makes you happy, and what are you spending on just to keep up? Those are different questions, and most people have never really sat down to answer them. When you start closing that gap, spending less and saving more, building even a small cushion, something shifts. You negotiate differently at work because you don't desperately need to say yes. You take the risk you've been postponing because failure isn't catastrophic anymore. That's what financial margin actually buys you. Not stuff, but options. The other piece, and this one takes longer, is finding a way to generate value that isn't entirely dependent on your hours. That does not have to mean starting a company. It might be a skill you can freelance, for example, a small side project, something you can grow slowly while keeping the stability of what you have. The goal isn't to get rich. The goal is to build something that works, even when you're not working. Even a small version of that changes how you relate to your main job. You're no longer all in one thing, and that changes everything about how trapped you feel. Escaping the rat race isn't a single dramatic exit. It's a series of small decisions that slowly shift the balance between earning and owing, between security and freedom, and between living for the week and building towards something. You probably won't wake up one day and just leave, but you might wake up in 2 years and realize you're no longer stuck. That the work you do is something you actually chose, that you have room to breathe. That's what freedom actually looks like for most people. Not a beach, just a life with enough space in it that you're the one calling the shots. And that's worth working toward.